Hi everyone, Happy New Year. I'm Arnaud Varin, Senior Product Manager for Spotfire, and I'm happy to start the new year with this What's New presentation. What's new in Spotfire 14.1 that we just released. As usual, our confidentiality and disclaimer statement. So today I do not intend to make any forward-looking statement, but in the case I do, we have this disclaimer in place. Few words about Spotfire. What is Spotfire? Um, Spotfire is a data science platform that gives engineers and scientists the power to analyze data, share insights, and take action. From a capability standpoint, our platform incorporates everything that is needed to dig deep into data, from data transformation to data visualization and applications. And an important aspect of the platform is its ability to be extended and customized to specific business needs. Spotfire was built for data discovery. It's not just about making visualizations, but about the outcomes from data analysis. In the same way as Spotfire is not much about data preparation, but more about letting you users shape your data to derive meaningful insights. Spotfire is for people who are passionate about their business, for people who don't analyze data for its own sake, but who analyze data to achieve something. We observe Spotfire being used by geologists in oil and gas companies who want to optimize drilling operations to minimize their environmental impact, used by yield engineers in high-tech manufacturing who want to minimize waste, used by medicinal chemists in life science who want to develop safe and effective vaccines, by brand managers in consumer packaged goods who want their products to be successful, by financial analysts who want to maximize their return for their customers, by logistic experts who want your packages to arrive as fast as possible. So Spotfire is used by passionate people who use their deep expertise and knowledge about their business to make things happen using data. And they use Spotfire as a means to an end. So what makes Spotfire different then? First, you cannot solve problems, hardest problems, without deep vertical integrations. This has been core to our business from the start. The first vertical we really dove into was pharmaceuticals, helping them discover new drugs to improve everything from research to ROI. We quickly moved to create specific ways to help companies in the fields of energy, financial, manufacturing, and transportation to visualize and explore data in multiple ways so they could find the solutions they needed. You can't provide these depths if you want to be all things to all people. So we choose to focus on complex industries and give them the toolkits, the templates, and more to make a difference in how they find answers from data. Second, you cannot solve the hardest problems without advanced analytics algorithms. We've been involved in analytics way before it was cool to be involved in analytics. Most of the algorithms out there today can help look at data and tell you what happened, leaving you to guess or make assumptions about what to do next. And Spotfire provides customers with powerful capabilities that allows users to drill down deep into the data to find the root causes and generate models that can truly predict future behavior, allowing them to make far more informed decisions faster while reducing operational risk. And third, you cannot solve the hardest problems without being fully customizable. We understand that no two problems are alike, let alone two industries. And that's why we provide customers with unmatched ability to customize ways to visualize and explore the data based on what they are trying to solve for. We make it easy to build highly customized, fit for purpose, data-driven, shareable applications with no coding, no time-consuming integrations. These were my few words for Spotfire. Now to Spotfire 14.1. Spotfire 14.1 was released just a few days ago, and it is a mainstream release. So we have multiple mainstream releases in between long-term supported versions. And mainstream versions are dedicated to customers who want to get the latest features and enhancements as quickly as possible. And mainstream releases are released approximately every one month or 2 months. Currently, our latest LTS version is Spotfire 14.0 that we released back in November. And the latest mainstream release is Spotfire 14.1. So if you're on LTS train, today Spotfire 14.0 and 12.0 are still the current LTS releases, still under support, and they are not affected by this release. However, we think it's still interesting for you to hear about what's new in mainstream releases, because these new features and enhancements I will talk about will be part of the next Spotfire LTS. Spotfire 14.1 introduces enhancements for analysts, web authors, developers, and administrators. Let me go into the details now. First, with data wrangling. If you're using Spotfire clients on Windows, you can now add binned columns directly from a final data table node in the data canvas. That's a small enhancement that adds a quicker access point for grouping a number of more or less continuous values into a smaller number of bins. So now it's directly accessible from the data canvas. You click the plus, add bin column, and you configure it. With Spotfire 14.1, we are also introducing support for engineering notation formatting. You can now apply this formatting when working with measurement parameters to simplify the representation of numerical values and align with engineering standards. This new formatting settings is available under the scientific format in the column formatting dialog, and will display numerical values as exponents of 10 expressed as a multiple of 3. And we think this will enhance data comprehension and communication in technical fields. Now, data filtering. Filtering schemes. That's a powerful concept in Spotfire, something we had for many years now, as it allows to save and apply combinations of filters so that you, as an author or as an application and user, you can switch between different data views seamlessly using filtering schemes. Filtering schemes truly enhance and facilitate dynamic data exploration, as you can use different filtering schemes across various pages of visualizations, and you can ensure that specific visualizations remain unaffected by the changes you made in other visualizations. In Spotfire 14.1, we are introducing a new filtering schemes panel. This new panel makes filtering schemes management available to web authors who can now add, edit, remove filtering schemes, and also switch between filtering schemes from the filter panel. Prior to Spotfire 14.1, these filtering schemes capabilities were only available on the Windows client. So they are now available to web authors and web consumers as well. And now, also through this new panel, you can quickly see the number of pages and visualizations limited by a specific filtering scheme. So you can quickly understand what filtering schemes are being used, where, and you can directly jump to a specific page or a specific visualization that uses this filtering scheme. I'll show you a bit of this later in my demo. Now, scripting. Scripting in Spotfire 14.1 was updated with support for Iron Python 3.4.1. the latest version of IronPython that is based on Python 3.4. IronPython 3.4 is now the default option when creating a new script in Spotfire. And older version support for IronPython 2 and 2.7 are kept for backward compatibility and can be disabled by an administrator who can decide to allow authoring of scripts in these old versions or only their execution. And actually, with that, we have a few one comment that allows you to find which analyses use what type of script version. So you can find these analyses and update them to the latest IronPython version if you need. When it comes to visualizations, we have released a new plot. I think it was early December or November. This is the violin box plot. I think that's probably the most advanced visualization that was built on top of the mods framework. It was made by the Spotfire data science team in collaboration with our partner, Genware. This visualization combines the advantages of a box plot and a kernel density plot. So you can understand both the distribution of the data and the underlying density. It looks like a box plot with a rotated kernel density plot on each side to show the probability density of the data at different values. You can include markers at different measures like median, interquartile range, as in a standard box plot. You can include also a table of statistical measures, and this visualization also supports trellising, and it works on the web client. You can grab this visualization from our community website and also from GitHub. On the platform side, with Spotfire 14.1, we now support Google Cloud SQL Server as the Spotfire Server database. With this last addition, customers really now have the freedom to choose from any of the three major databases, PostgreSQL, Oracle, SQL Server, both for on-premises deployments or as database service available on any of the three major cloud providers, AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud. With Spotfire 14.1, the Spotfire server now also supports OAuth2 authorization server issue identification, both when the Spotfire server acts as a client, like for instance, when fetching data, and also when Spotfire server acts as an authorization server, for instance, authorization server towards public API clients or similar. This basically takes the form of a new parameter that is used as a protection mechanism against mix-up attacks when working with multiple authorization servers. And by implementing this, we follow this recommendation as part of the IETF draft for best current practices for security. We also have a new command for deleting Spotfire server configurations in the database. If, as an administrator, you have multiple configurations, you can now easily delete them if needed, but not that the current configuration that is used in the server cannot be deleted, only the ones that are unused. And with Spotfire 14.1, we also added support for chained credentials when using Azure Blob storage. So when using Azure Blob storage as the external storage for the Spotfire library, you can now delegate the authentication to the default Azure credential, which will attempt to authenticate by going through a list of mechanisms that are listed here. And this is what's new in Spotfire 14.1, but I have one more thing to share with you today. And this is about how you work with visualizations in Spotfire. We are building a completely new way to author visualizations in Spotfire with a new visualization properties panel made to improve ease of use, make visualization authoring faster and more effective, and also that unifies the experience between the web and the installed client of Spotfire. And so with Spotfire 14.1, we are excited to bring this new experience to our users as a preview. This new experience is easy to use, easy to understand. Here on the left, these are the current properties dialog. There are many of them today, different dialogues for different visualizations, dialogue displayed in front of the visualizations. And this is the new panel where all visualization properties now have one consistent design across all visualization types. And the panel is context-aware, meaning that it only shows properties that are applied to the selected visualizations. It makes it easier to understand how visualizations are set up, and you just enrich visualizations by adding new properties. We think this makes the experience more intuitive and the capabilities of Spotfire more discoverable for both for new and experienced users. The new experience is also searchable. You just search to find properties and settings that are applied to your visualizations or that are applicable and that you would like to add. And the new experience is also much more efficient, as you can now configure multiple visualizations at the same time, simultaneously, or reuse configurations across visualizations using drag and drop. So these are the base principles for this new experience in preview: easy to use, searchable, efficient. And I'd like to show you the new experience live. All right, so this is Spotfire as you know it. I just opened a simple analysis containing some sales data with various visualizations. First, I would like to open the new panel. So the way to open it is through the View menu here, View, and you have this new option, Visualization Properties Preview. Or for quicker access, you can add it to the toolbar here. I just drag and drop here as a shortcut. And I click. And this is how the panel looks. So you see I have a visualization that is selected here, and I see the different properties related to this visualization. First, you see a search field that you can use to find properties and settings that have been configured or settings that are applicable to the visualizations and that you would like to add. For instance, I can search for description. And here I have this property card that I can add. This is a description. And you see my description is added to my visualization. Okay, I want to remove this description. I just close and it disappears from my visualization. Then you have the title of the selected visualization. This is the title of this visualization, which may contain actually several subsections depending on the type of visualizations. For instance, if you have a map chart, you may have a list of the different layers that you added to your map chart. Or it could be dynamic items, like for here, for instance. I have a KPI chart, I have the different types of KPIs listed at subsections. Same for the graphical table here. Okay. And this title list may also contain a selection of visualization. Here I have one visualization selected, but using the cap key, I can select multiple ones and they are added to the list of visualization here. I'll get back to this a bit later. Then the new properties panel is split in two categories, configuration and appearance. Under configuration, these are configurations that you add to the visualizations and configurations based on the data provided to the visual. And for appearance, these are the default appearance settings that are always there and that are not dependent on the data. Let me get back to configuration. So configuration section, this is where you configure your visualization with what we call them properties card here that you add to your visualization. So to add a property card, you just search, like I just showed you before, or you click the add button. And here we list all the properties card available to the selected visualization. If I want to add grid lines, I click and my grid lines are added to my visualizations. Now, some cards differ in their behavior and how they can be used. Some cards cannot be removed and are always configured. They are needed for the visualization. This is the case, for instance, for the data cards and the axis cards here. In the same way, some other cards may be hidden without removing their actual configuration or removing the card. Like, for instance, the legend here. I can hide the legend. The card is still there. It's just hidden, and I can show it again. Same for the grid lines. The card is here, configured, but it's not shown on the visual. So let's look at the property cards themselves. Notice that when I mouse over cards, I get to show a help tooltip. So here, and it's the case for every card that we have. So here for the data cards, for instance, I can learn what the data card is about and about the different methods to limit data in the visualization. I do not need to open the Spotfire documentation anymore. I just get contextual help as I configure my visualizations. Most cards can also be expanded to show more settings. Here in the data card, when it's not expanded, I have these icons that give me some explanation about how the data is limited in this for this chart. If I click, I can show more details. And for instance, configure data limitation by marking, filtering, or expression. If I click filtering, this is actually the new filtering panel I was talking about just before. I see that my visualization, this visualization is using the filtering scheme 2, but I could select another one. And here I directly see what visualizations and pages are using these filtering schemes. And I can directly jump to these visualizations or page from here. Expanding an axis, I get to find all the configuration for this axis, scale position, labels, configurations, reversing scales, log scales, etc. And there is one more thing I wanted to show you. As I said earlier, with the new panel, you can now author multiple visualizations at once and sync properties between multiple visualizations. Here you see I have this nice horizontal legend in this visualization that I would like to apply to every visualization. So I just select each visualization here. And you see on the legend card, I have this new sync button. And I click. From there, I can apply the legend setting to the selected visualization from this visualization, unit sold per carry. And just like this, I show the legend in the same way in these 4 visualizations. Now, I want to hide the legend panel now. It's not needed anymore. I just go here, hide, and the legend panel is hidden for each visualization. That's how editing multiple visualizations at the same time is working, and how you can sync cards between visualizations. You can also drag and drop cards to apply configurations directly. So here in this case now, if I click on this visualization, it should have the same filtering scheme. So that was a very quick look at the new visualization authoring experience. This new visualization properties panel is available in preview in Spotfire 14.1, and you'll get the same exact experience both in the Windows client and the web client. Now, being in preview means a few things. First, it means that you have to opt in for the new experience. By default, the new visualization properties panel is disabled. To enable it, your administrator has to set enable visualization properties panel to true for your user group. Note that on TIBCO Cloud Spotfire, the new visualization properties panel is enabled by default. Secondly, with this first preview release, we think we have the framework in place, but not all visualization properties from the old properties dialog have been implemented in the new panel just yet. So the old properties dialog remains available, and you can use it side by side with the new experience. Third, it means, since it's a preview, it means that we want to hear from you. We want to hear your feedback along the way. And directly from the panel here in the blue top banner here, you have a link to post feedback directly to us, and we count on you. We want to receive your feedback on this new experience. And that's what I had for you today. If you want to learn more, please visit the Spotfire community website, where you'll find the complete description for everything I talked about today. Look at the release notes as well and the Spotfire documentation. Don't forget also to check our new website, spotfire.com, where you can learn everything Spotfire, learn about Spotfire use cases in different industries, visit the analytics forum for user presentation and what is possible with Spotfire, and where you'll find documentations, demo, and resources on how to use Spotfire. And get involved, our Get Involved section. That's a great place to start if you're looking for other Spotfire users, if you want to read about analytics and Spotfire, or if you have suggestions on how to improve Spotfire. Thanks for listening.